From the fertile earth, two brothers emerged, each walking a different path under the same sky. One, Cain, was a tiller of the soil, his hands rough and his brow furrowed with the strain of his labor. The camera sweeps across a sun-scorched field. Capturing the forceful, almost violent way he drives his tool into the ground, wresting a living from the stubborn earth. In a stark split-screen contrast, we see Abel, a keeper of sheep. He moves with a gentle calm among his flock, the animals nuzzling against him trustingly. He pauses, his hand resting softly on the woolly back of a young lamb, a picture of serene harmony with the world around him. The two brothers, born of the same womb, could not be more different in spirit, and in toil, their destinies already beginning to diverge like two separate streams flowing from a single spring. The time for offerings arrived, a sacred moment to honor the divine. Cain, with a sense of duty, approaches a rough-hewn stone altar. He carries the fruits of his hard labor, grains and vegetables wrested from the soil, and places them down with a heavy thud. A moment later, Abel follows, his steps light and his heart full. He brings the finest firstling of his flock, a pure and unblemished lamb, and presents it with reverence. The camera zooms in, capturing the smoke from Abel's offering as it ascends in a straight, unwavering column towards the heavens, a clear sign of acceptance. The lens then pans to Cain's altar. The smoke from his offering drifts sideways, dissipating listlessly into the wind, a visible rejection. A dramatic, tight close-up on Cain's face reveals the subtle shift in his expression. Initial disappointment curdles, darkening into the bitter, corrosive acid of jealousy as he watches his brother's success. The poison of envy now courses through Cain's veins. His hands clench into tight, white-knuckled fists, his jaw set like stone. His entire body is a coiled spring of simmering rage, his eyes fixed on his unsuspecting brother. The tension is palpable, a silent scream in the tranquil air. A quick, jarring cut shows a shepherd's crook, abandoned and forgotten, clattering as it falls to the dusty ground. The camera then performs a slow, deliberate pan across the now silent, empty field. The sheep graze on, oblivious, but the absence of their shepherd is a deafening void. The quiet landscape, once a scene of pastoral peace, is now haunted by an unspoken act of terrible violence, leaving an indelible stain on the very land itself. The deed is done, and an unnatural stillness settles over the world. The camera tilts upward, finding Cain standing alone in the vast emptiness. He looks towards the heavens, not in prayer, but in guilt and defiance, as a divine, piercing light breaks through the clouds and shines down upon him. It is a light of judgment, a gaze he cannot escape. A close-up captures the turmoil on his face as his eyes fall, unable to meet the celestial glare. He is marked not by a physical brand, but by the profound weight of his sin, a burden he will now carry for all his days. The sky itself seems to weep for the innocents lost, and Cain is left to confront the terrible finality of his actions, isolated by the chasm he has created between himself, his brother, and his God. In a final, wide shot, we see Cain turn and walk away, a solitary figure against a vast, desolate landscape. With each slow step, he shrinks, becoming a smaller and smaller speck as he trudges into a future of exile and wandering. The camera does not follow him into his lonely destiny. Instead, it remains fixed on the tragic spot, the ground where brotherhood was betrayed. It begins a slow, somber zoom, moving past the silent, scattered flock, until it comes to rest on a single, vibrant red flower that has pushed its way through the soil. It is a solitary splash of color in the muted earth, a symbol of the blood that was spilt and a perpetual, silent testament to the first great sorrow to befall humanity.